Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today, we have racing in the top three series with trucks, Xfinity, as well as Cup Series coming your way at New Hampshire for the Cup Series for the penultimate race of the regular season. But first, we had the Truck Series race here for the first race of the playoffs in the Truck Series now, as we had community member Owen White behind the wheel of our number 77 truck here through turn 1 and 2. He started on the outside, so wasn't the preferred lane, and he was fortunately, though, able to get down towards the inside fairly quick here, and then he was able to start making a lot of progress. We don't come into the playoffs this season in the Truck Series in as good of a spot as we did last season in the Truck Series, so it's not like we have a free ride really to the Final Four like we did in that last season. So we're really going to have to work hard with the drivers that get behind the wheel of our truck this time out to make it into that Final Four, and might even need to win a race to get in now as we come straight through to the final lap here in Gateway now, as it was a top 5 run here today for us in the number 77 Ford F-150 here with Owen White behind the wheel as it comes through down the front straightaway to cross the line for a very strong fourth place finisher. So a competitive run there as Stuart Friesen would pick up the victory for the first race of the Truck Series playoffs. There as you see the rest of your finishing order. John Hunter Nemechek down there in P20 just in front of Natalie Decker in at 21st place, and at the bottom of the grid you had Jason White now as we come through into the Xfinity Series. So there's still quite a few races left in the Xfinity Series regular season. It is a little bit annoying. I wish that in the real life that the three schedules for the three series would line up with the playoffs a little bit more, because you got the Truck Series playoffs that's already started, you got the Cup Series that's about to start, and then you got the Xfinity Series that's still got like 5-6 races left before their playoffs start. So it's really weird how that works, but definitely would like to see that in the future maybe kind of get a little bit more closer together now, as we were watching Daniel Suarez try to work his way throughout the field here in Dover now. As he went down into turn 1, he wouldn't be able to clear the 21 in time and just get straight to the final lap of this race. So Suarez didn't put up, the best run in the world, but he still got a top 10 for us here in P8 for Dover. There you see Brandon Jones would pick up the victory, and I was thinking about NASCAR 21 Ignition, and I don't know if we're going to ever have our own custom team on NASCAR 21 Ignition. Obviously, you cannot create a team. That's been confirmed already in the career mode, so that's going to be interesting. But with my iRacing being in for Xfinity and trucks, it'll be interesting to see if we do that or not now. As we come through into the Cup Series, a brand new paint scheme on the cards, a LeBron James paint scheme, a community member and fellow content creator of Byte Blocks. You might know him from the Roblox scene. Actually made this paint scheme and asked if I wanted to run it, and I said absolutely. So we're gonna have that on the card today, and maybe in the next episode as well there, as we qualify P6 here in New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So a strong qualifying effort to start off this race. There's you see Sam Mayer on pole. Everybody below the cut line right now is in a must-win scenario if they want to get into the playoffs, including our teammate of Tyler Reddick, after our other teammate of Christopher Bell won last episode in Canada, beating us there as we finished in second place. As we look through the rest of the finishing order at the bottom of the grid, you got Justin Healy. Welcome to the Magic Mile here from Loudon, New Hampshire. Opened back in 1990, and fun fact, this racetrack actually has a 1.6 mile road course integrated into the oval here, as we're ready to go green with 2 races left in the regular season.
Looking a little bit cloudy here in New Hampshire. Might rain soon. We'll keep you posted.
Sounds good. We'll see what happens. You heard right there might be a chance of rain today. See some cloud cover. Looks a little spotty. It could go either way now as we are ready to take the green flag in the Foxwoods Resort and Casino 301. A track that we've had some pretty good success at in the past of our NASCAR Heat 5, NASCAR Heat 4, and 3 career mode, but not a track that I necessarily enjoy driving. I don't know what it is about flat tracks. I cannot stand them unless it's Martinsville. That's really the only flat track that I enjoy driving. Martinsville, of course, my second favorite track probably to drive on the ovals of NASCAR. Now, as we are underway with 2 races left in the regular season, Sam Mayer on pole looking for his first ever Cup Series win. If it goes all smoothly for him and he doesn't win in the regular season, he will still make the playoffs as long as someone below the cut line doesn't pick up a victory, like our teammate maybe of Tyler Reddick, or maybe the 22 of Joey Logano, the 19 of Harrison Burton. 2 big names right there, Logano and Burton, outside of the playoffs. We're used to seeing them compete for championships, especially Harrison Burton for Joe Gibbs Racing now, as he has not been on that just same kind of standard as he has been in the past. Kyle Busch, of course, has been pretty strong. Hasn't won this season in his final season of the career mode, but he's been strong. He's going to make the playoffs, no problem. He is already locked in. And then, of course, you have Ty Gibbs, who's actually the only driver to win for Joe Gibbs Racing this season at Sonoma Raceway. So we are only going to see likely 2 Joe Gibbs cars in the playoffs, and it's not the ones I expected to see other than Kyle Busch, but I expected to see Harrison Burton, of course, over Ty Gibbs. Still is potential, though, for a brand new winner today, as well, especially in the next one in the regular season finale at Daytona International Speedway. That's really going to be the curveball. And obviously, last season, when I was on Gordon Hendrick Motorsports, I was in a position where I had the opportunity to push my teammate of Alex Bowman to the victory and get him into the playoffs, and we did exactly that. So we have experience pushing a teammate in a must-win scenario to the race victory at Daytona, and we could do that with Tyler Reddick, but I don't know if I would want to do that this time around because it kind of didn't feel right doing it last time, and I don't know if I'd want to do it again. So we'll overall see what happens here. As we're up to P3 already on lap 9 as we have a crash behind us, and what in the world? The 2 car just had a weird accident there as he goes around, and I have no idea how to describe that. Look at this right there. What in the world was that? I think that Ryan Preece just reinvented the laws of physics. I have no idea how to describe that. Now, nobody would come into the pit lane after the caution had come out, so we would get right back into the action here from 3rd place there. A very weird accident for the 2 Penske driver, Ryan Preece, who is out of the race, but he's got 2 wins on the season, locked into the playoffs, so no issues there for that number 2 team. Just a handful of laps remaining here in Stage 1. Chase Elliott has led everything so far. He is looking very strong. 2 wins on the season for him as well. But you compare him to, say, Ryan Preece, who has 2 wins. Elliott has been way stronger, way more consistent. Of course, Elliott and Lewis Hamilton right now battling for the regular season championship, but Chase Elliott could come out of today clinching the regular season championship if he has a 60-plus point lead. So it'll be interesting to see, as right now, him and Hamilton run P1, P2, and I'm here in the 3rd position. And we're definitely establishing ourselves as a championship threat at this point, in my opinion. Obviously, we're lacking playoff points right now. We got 2 race wins, and then we got 1 stage win. So we have 11 playoff points at the moment, and we will get a few more for finishing in the top 10 in the overall point standings, but still, we're going to be lacking going into the playoffs compared to past seasons. I think this might be the least amount of playoff points we ever go into a playoff run with, so I think this is going to be the toughest Final Four we're going to have to fight to get into ever in our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on this final lap, though, down into turn 3 and 4 for the final time here in Stage 1. We had a comfortable gap over 4th place. Didn't quite have enough pace there to put the attack to Lewis Hamilton or Chase Elliott, as Chase Elliott hangs on to win Stage 1 and increase his points lead by just 1 point over Lewis Hamilton here as he tries to clinch the regular season championship today and not have any worries going into Daytona. Christian Eckes there in 4th place. He is potentially going to finish the regular season winless. The defending series champion. Would be a bit surprising to see that now, as you see at the bottom of the grid again. Ryan Preece, as Chase Elliott comes through to win Stage 1 from New Hampshire. Welcome back here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The last 5 stages in this season so far have been won by just 2 drivers. Chase Elliott with 3, Lewis Hamilton with 2, as we are about to get back underway for the start of Stage 2 in New Hampshire, and of course for the start of the 2nd stage. It is time to get amped. Might need to consider tightening up the car. It feels a little bit loose.
Okay, I guess we'll just raise the wedge.
There you have the AMP segment here as we are under attack from our teammate Tyler Reddick in a must-win situation, and here he is up inside the top 5, passing us there for 4th place. I didn't really fight him too hard. I said, you know what, I know what your situation is compared to mine. You can go at it and see what you can do here with the top 3 drivers of Hamilton, Eckes, as well as Elliott, as I'm under pressure there from the 84 of Chris Buescher there. A little bit of contact now, as actually I'm going to lose another spot, so down into 6th place we go here, struggling on these opening couple of laps now, as Reddick would actually also get passed by the 84 of Chris Buescher. So I was fighting up the inside, but then the caution actually comes out relatively early here in stage 2. But once again, everybody can make it to the end of stage 2 without pitting, so we will be staying out, as it looks like Bubba Wallace brings up the caution here now, as he really hasn't been up front over the last couple of races here, having a bit of a struggle right now again here in New Hampshire, as we are back underway. Elliott in control of this race. Nobody seems to have any speed in the world to be able to pass that number 9 car, even get alongside him, other than when it's on a restart, of course, as we go down into turn 1. Not a great apex there from myself now, as Elliott is already clear on the exit of turn 2. Hamilton side by side with the Red Bull of Christian Eckes. We've seen a lot of Mercedes, Red Bull, and McLaren dominance so far this season, as actually getting to the back of the 84 of Chris Buescher there into turn 3. But Buescher has, of course, won a bunch of races, about 4 races I think he's won this season. Chase Elliott's won 2, Lewis Hamilton, I believe, has got 3, and then you got, of course, myself with 2, Sam Mayer at my inside with none, as we go down into turn 1. And behind us, Todd Gilliland still looking for his first career win here. Now, as it looks like, though, if we don't get a new winner, both Sam Mayer and Gilliland, who are both looking for the first ever career wins, are still at least going to make it into the playoffs. I haven't actually recorded the Daytona regular season finale yet. I'm probably going to do it as soon as this video is actually completed. But I honestly do believe, I just have a feeling we're going to see some surprise shock winner that's not even like around the bubble. Like, I'm talking like the 25th in points place winner or something like that. So we'll see what happens. Very excited for that Daytona regular season finale, as we got past Lewis Hamilton now in the closing laps here of stage 2 inside of Sam Mayer, now on at lap 18 out of turn 4. Sideways there on the exit of the corner we go around. We get tagged by the 44 of Lewis Hamilton, who gets involved. No caution comes out as we save it. I think it's safe to say we need to tighten it up. There you hear myself on the radio, as we are now down to P10. We did a quick little 360 right there, and we're still inside the top 10 somehow. So happy with that, but I was hanging on for dear life all of a sudden at the end of this stage. I just started to lose the car, and I'm actually glad that Lewis Hamilton just decided to plow right on through me, because I was probably going to go head on into the either inside barrier there at the end of the pit wall, or just into the pit wall in general, and we were going to do a lot of damage to the car. So I felt like we got lucky there that Hamilton actually turned us around. So thank you to Lewis. Now, as we come through to just the final lap of stage 2, I just rode around a P10 here, just bringing it home. I didn't want to push it too hard because I knew what was happening, and even if I just got down on the throttle halfway, the car was starting to slip around and whatnot. So we crossed the line to still get P10 here in stage 2 after a little bit of a dramatic end to that second stage. Now, as you see, Tyler Reddick got up to 2nd place. He passed both the Red Bulls there, Buescher as well as Eckes, looking very strong, hopefully going into stage 2. And maybe he could win his way in today, but does anyone have anything for Chase Elliott, who wins stage 2? One stage remains here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Chase Elliott has been extremely quick. Out of the last 6 stages here in the past few races, Elliott has won 4 of them now, as we are back underway from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. It is a little bit over 25 laps to go, so we can make it on field here. So there will not be any necessary pit stops in this 3rd and final stage there, as we're taking 4 wide through turns 1 and 2. Now, as the 17's on my outside, the 38 was on my inside, the 7 as well, and we managed to get it sorted out, and we come out of turn 2 actually with nobody alongside us, thankfully, here, as we are in behind that number 7 McLaren of Eric Jones. 3 wins on the season for Jones, and it's been a very hit or miss season for Jones. He's really going to have to pick up the consistency in the postseason, in the playoffs. I mentioned this earlier in the season. He's not very consistent. He's been able to win some races, but then other races he runs like 10th to 20th. So you're not going to win a championship that way if you're Eric Jones. So it'll be interesting to see if he can pick it up here in the playoffs now, because when when he has his good days, he is fast, and obviously you can tell because he's won 3 races this season here for McLaren, more than he won last season. And last season he was a lot more consistent, though, up in there in the top 5 in points pretty much the whole season long, it felt like. So now to 25 laps to go, at least up inside the top 10 as we pass that number 45, 23, 11 car of Derek Cross. But he would actually get back up my inside here as I got stuck behind the 99 of Chastain. I made a bit of a mistake there on the exit of turn 2. Kyle Larson to my back bumper there from 12th place as Elliott continues to lead the way and pull a gap over 2nd place of Christian Eckes. Reddick fell down to about 5th now as behind us Kyle Busch blows a tire, goes to the outside while he's going to hit the 16 of Kaz Gralla, nearly go up and over it looked like there for a second as the caution comes out. Nobody needs to come into the pit lane, so we get right back into the restart here now as Kyle Busch is going to be out for the day here in his final race in New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Unfortunate ending there for the number 18 of Kyle Busch as we are back underway from the 10th position on the outside of row number 5. Just 19 laps to go. Can Kyle Busch get one final win? That's the question here before this career mode comes to an end there as we are 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Chastain's going to go through there on the inside, go up into the 8th position as we get clear and get back up into P10 there in front of the 45 of Kraus. So I'm going to jump down in behind that number 99 of Ross Chastain. Reddick there on the inside line of row number 3. We'll see if he can maybe get back up into 2nd and then try to put the fight to the number 9 of Chase Elliott as we're side by side with Eric Jones. 18 to go. Obviously the car not driving exactly how I would like it to, so I know we're not really in consideration to win this race usually like we are at New Hampshire, but the car wasn't quite there today now as we came through already to the final 15 laps behind Chastain as well as Lewis Hamilton. We got into a bit of a scrap here with these guys. We went 3 wide up the inside of Ross Chastain as well as Lewis now on the exit of turn 4 and nearly slamming into the side of the 99 to actually make a little bit of contact right there. Then he backs out of the 3 wide, so we move back up in P7. Then we would come through to 10 laps to go up the inside of Hamilton down into turn 1, and we should hopefully be able to clear him right here, but he's going to pinch us down quite a bit, so I even cut down to the apron trying to get a better exit than Lewis, but couldn't quite pull it off here. So side by side down the back straightaway for that 6th and 7th position battle here, but fortunately into turn 3 we were able to clear him, and then we would run down the number 66 of Sam Mayer, get to his outside here coming into the final 8 laps, and down into turn 1 we would clear the McLaren drivers up to P5 behind Christian Eckes, finding a good chunk of speed here in these closing laps, but the caution comes out with 8 laps to go. Elliott, who I think has led every single lap so far in this race, is now going to be put to the test by the number 84 of Chris Buescher, by the number 60 of Tyler Reddick, who's in a must-win scenario. What will Tyler Reddick do in a position where this could be his only shot right here to get into the playoffs? We're about to find out. I can tell you what my plan was right here is I didn't want any part of this battle right now because I don't know if the 60 is going to send it up the inside 3 wide into turn 1 or turn 3 down the back straightaway, but we are back underway with 4 laps to go here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Elliott and Buescher, your front row, row number 2, Reddick and Eckes with myself just behind that McDonald's Ford Mustang. My teammate Reddick in that number 60 car up the inside of the 84. He goes, and he's going to move up into the 2nd position here as I lose a spot right there to that number 83 of Eckes. Now Hamilton to my outside down into turn 3, but we stay in front of him. Actually got into the back of the 83, but Reddick is going to be able to find a way to potentially get clear of the 84 there on the exit of turn 4. But does he have enough for Chase Elliott? I sure enough don't have enough for these guys. We come through to 2 laps to go. We managed to find a way up the inside of Chris Buescher to my surprise here, but Elliott just in command, just trying to make it back to the final lap. Reddick doesn't quite have enough for that number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet Camaro now as we come through down the back straightaway into turn 3, trying to lunge up that inside here of that 84 Red Bull Toyota Camry, but not quite enough there. I just don't have the car at this point to really be able to do anything on the inside. Now Sam Mayer going to look at my inside, white flag in the air for Chase Elliott. Tyler Reddick 2nd place, and that's not going to cut it. 2nd place will not put him in the playoffs. He's going to have to make a move of desperation down the back straightaway into turn 3 if he wants any chance to make it into these playoffs. Now side by side with Mayer down the back straightaway for the final time, but Chase Elliott comfortably into turn 3. No pressure from behind there from that 60 of Tyler Reddick, and he will come up just short of victory today as Chase Elliott comes through to get his 3rd win on the season. Now as we're side by side to the line with Sam Mayer, but we cross the line holding him off for a 5th place finish. Not by much, a bit of a photo finish right there with that 66 car now as Ty Gibbs rounds up the top 10. Hamilton dropped down to P9 by the time they got to the end of that race. So a bit of a rough ending for him, and that very well could have clinched Chase Elliott's regular season championship. We will check out, of course, the standings right here, right now, as you see in the Truck Series, 24 points above the cut line, but no Truck Series in the next episode, but they will be going to Canada in the next race for them. So there you see the Xfinity Series playoff grid. Everybody in the Xfinity Series playoffs has won a race, so your only way to get in is actually win. Now, of course, what does the Cup Series playoff grid look like before we end it? So, as well, by the way, I can confirm Chase Elliott has an exactly 60-point gap over Lewis Hamilton. You see it right there. So, if Chase manages to only get 1 point in Daytona and Lewis gets 60, well, I believe Elliott would still win it by a point. So, Elliott is your regular season champion here in our final season of the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. Can he take it all the way to the Final Four is the real question there. As you see, everybody is going to be in a must-win. And if no one new wins in the next episode that's below the playoffs, it'll be Todd Gilliland holding on to that final spot. As always, if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this episode. And of course, thank you to the members of MJ, Joseph 9001, Timothy Arline, Hayes Gaming, Brett Durward, Dark Gengar Gaming, AG Vasur, Russell Dixon, Kenneth Barnett, Daniel9302, Speed Demon 341, Alice Emery, as well as Jay Fitz. I appreciate you guys' support so much, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.